Members of the House, please be seated.
Will the House come to order? Mr. Clerk.
Aloha and good afternoon. Today's invocation will be delivered by Representative Janae Capella. Will the members who wish to participate please rise?
You may be seated. This year, we are faced with many challenges. Yet, if we embrace the trials before us, then we may realize that the challenges we face are also opportunities to provide the future that the people of Hawaii deserve. I come from the southwest side of Hawaii County. The district that I represent runs from North Kona from South Kona all the way to Na'alehu. In my community, hardship is nothing new. Basic infrastructure is scarce. Thousands of families lack the technology needed in order to participate in today's remote economy. And some areas of my community even lack running water. Olai Kawai, water is life, and yet many in my community lack this most basic and precious resource. Yet the district that I call home is also one of Hawaii's greatest agricultural communities. From our iconic Kona and Ka'u coffee, to the world-famous macadamia nuts, to the fruits and vegetables that nourish our families. My neighbors cherish the chance to get their hands dirty to plant the seeds that will support and nourish themselves and our Aina for generations to come. Despite the poverty that my community experiences, though, we come together to nurture one another's needs. At the end of the day, it's our common humanity that defines our commitment to the common good and drives us towards the common purpose of advancing justice, prosperity, and hope for those who need it most. On Inauguration Day, Amanda Gorman, our National Youth Poet Laureate, said, "The new dawn blooms as we free it. For there is always light if we're only brave enough to see it, and if we're only brave enough to be it." Today, colleagues, let's rededicate ourselves to becoming the beacons of light that brighten and illuminate the public interest. Just as my community members work to cultivate the Aina and the land that sustain us, let us cultivate the seeds of a political vision in which our actions serve as the signal of our devotion for delivering hope and aloha for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Capella. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Aquino, Ms. Bellotti, Mr. Bronco, Mr. Cullen, Ms. DeCoit, Ms. Eli, Mr. Ganaden, Mr. Gates, Ms. Har,
Present.
Mr. Hashem,
Present.
Mr. Hashimoto, Mr. Holt, Ms. Ichiyama, Mr. Ilagan, Mr. Johansson, Ms. Capella, Ms. Kitagawa, Mr. Bertrand Kobayashi, Mr. Dale Kobayashi, Mr. Kong, Mr. Lopresti,
Present.
Ms. Lowen, Ms. Luke, Ms. Martin, Mr. Matayoshi, Ms. Matsumoto,
Present.
Mr. McDermott, Mr. McKelvey, Mr. Mizuno, Ms. Morikawa, Ms. Nakamura, Mr. Nakashima, Mr. Nishimoto, Mr. Ono, Ms. Okimoto, Mr. Onishi, Ms. Peruso, Mr. Quinlan,
Here.
Mr. Sayama,
Here.
Mr. Takayama, Mr. Takumi, Mr. Tam, Mr. Tarnas, Mr. Todd, Mr. Tokioka,
Excused.
Mr. Ward, Ms. Wildberger, Mr. Woodson, Mr. Yamane, Mr. Yamashita, Mr. Speaker.
Present.
Mr. Speaker, 50 members are present, 1 is excused.
Item 2, reading of the Journal, Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, may this matter be deferred?
So ordered. Item 3, Mr. Clerk, are there any messages from the Governor?
Mr. Speaker, there are none.
Item 4, Mr. Clerk, are there any Senate communications?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, we are in receipt of communications transmitting the noted Senate bills, both having passed third reading in the Senate.
Okay, for the first reading motion, Representative Bellotti.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the Senate bills laying on the clerk's desk pass first reading by title.
Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
All those in favor say aye. All opposed say no. The motion is carried. For an item 5, reports of standing committees, Representative Bellotti.
Mr. Speaker, I move to adopt standing committee report numbers 260 through 266 as listed on pages 1 through 3, and that the accompanying House bills as may be amended pass second reading and be referred to their designated committees.
Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
All right, members, is there any discussion beginning with SCR 260 on page 1? Any discussion? If not, next page, 261, 262, 263, 264. Next page, 265, 266, Representative McDermott.
Reservations, Mr. Speaker.
So ordered. Is further discussion on this item or any other item? If not, we'll take a voice vote. All those in favor say aye. All opposed say no. The motion is carried. Item 6, Mr. Clerk, are there any resolutions for action?
Mr. Speaker, there are no resolutions for action. May all others be referred to print.
So ordered. Item 7, members, are there any announcements? Representative Matsuyoshi.
Mr. Speaker, the Judiciary and Hawaiian Affairs Committee would like to request a waiver of the 48-hour notice to hear the following bills: HB 895, HB 722, HB 1314, HB 1311, HB 273, HB 345, and HB 381.
So ordered.
They'll be heard tomorrow at 2 p.m., February 17th, in room 325. Thank you.
Representative Ward.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there is a time for everything, and now is the time to break the logjam in the leadership of the Minority Caucus. Today, I want to announce that I'm withdrawing my name from the leadership race, and we will soon announce a new team of leaders. Mr. Speaker, I'll revert back to being a minority leader emeritus and will continue to be an active member of this body and an active member of this caucus, to be led by younger and very talented new generation. I will ask all of you to please trust and work with these new leaders as our caucus, as you have trusted and worked with me over my 3 terms as probably one of the longest serving minority leaders in the loyal opposition. Mahalo, Speaker, mahalo, members. You've been very patient. Aloha, and God bless. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Ward. Are there further announcements? If not, for the motion to adjourn, Representative Bellotti.
Mr. Speaker, I move that this House stand adjourned until 12 noon tomorrow.
Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
All those in favor say aye. All opposed say no. The motion is carried. The House stands adjourned until 12 noon tomorrow.